Okay, welcome everybody to our February Fierce Oilers team call. This call is called Essential Oils for Your Emotional and Mental Health. So I'm really excited about what we're going to get to talk about. I'm excited to take some time to do that. Thank you for taking your time to be on with us live. I'm really glad you're here. We're going to cover a lot tonight, so we'll get started right away. You get to hear from some of the most amazing ladies tonight. So have something that you can take notes on. And do your best. I know there's probably a lot going on wherever you are, but there's going to be some really great nuggets. And then at the end, we'll do our raffle, so make sure you hang on. Okay, so first I'm just going to lay just a little bit of groundwork for the conversation tonight. And I just want to address, like, why in the world would you use essential oils for, like, I bought oils because I have headaches or I had migraines or I wanted to sleep better. Like, why are we talking about emotional and mental health? And Amy, you're weird. So for all of you thinking that, that's okay. You're not alone. There's probably quite a few in this group right now. So first of all, why do we use oils for our emotional support? There's three reasons in my mind. First of all, conventional solutions are, to me, less than thrilling. Side effects, additives, all the things, okay? Who wants to deal with that? Number two, if you don't have to. Number two, oils are very affordable, right? The BOGO today, anybody? And the results are so fast, like pennies per drop, pennies per dose, and you're talking right into your system to have an effect quickly, okay? Literally, like, open your bottle and smell it. That's what we're talking about here for a lot of this stuff. And the third reason you use oils for your emotional health is because they're so versatile and multi-purpose. Like, use it for your emotions and then go clean your floor and then put it with your fruit so it can wash your fruit. And then while you're at it, cheer up your grumpy kid. Like, there's so many things that you can do. So those are some of the reasons that I love talking about using oils for emotional health. So all emotions have an energetic pattern and a unique frequency. And these frequencies, like our emotions, affect the way our cells divide. They affect the way our organs are functioning. They affect our hormones, how our blood is circulating. Like, again, this topic can feel kind of obscure and out there, but there's a lot of really concrete science that shows how our emotions are affecting us on a cellular level. Okay, and if you are on a journey of wellness, which I'm assuming if you're on this call, you're on a journey towards wellness and figuring that out, then you have to look at your emotional health. You have to. It's just so key. Let's quickly just talk about how essential oils impact your brain. So, like, some oils pass the blood-brain barrier because they have sesquiterpenes like frankincense, copaiba, sandalwood. So that's a great way to affect your brain, and we know that. But even if the chemical constituents can't pass the blood-brain barrier, they're still affecting your brain and your body because of your limbic system, your amygdala, and your sense of smell is the only way to interact with, like, the only external stimuli to activate that, okay? So it's just so important. And the other thing I want to point out, we're going to talk a lot probably about aromatic use, but topical use works really well too. And the keys for that are to think of either the specific acupuncture points or the meridians that you're trying to address, to yield an even greater change in your mood and emotions. So, like, I think we would all agree, many of you on this call would probably agree, that certain organs are associated with certain emotions, like anger in the liver and sadness and grief in the lungs. Like, those are some things that would probably sound somewhat familiar. So it's not a bad idea to put it on reflexology points and those kinds of things for your organs, okay? Time, frequency, guys, like, you don't have to use, first of all, you might use an oil for 24 hours for your emotional support and experience great breakthrough. It might take 30 days. It might take 60 days. Everybody is different. So be consistent with it. You might be using it anywhere from 1 to 5 times a day, and just, like, pay attention to what's going on. And the last thing I'm going to say before I turn it over to Wendy is lifestyle. Okay, it's a journey to wellness. There are so many different facets, and if you're just going to use your wild orange for your emotional support, like, I'm really thrilled for you, but, like, you're missing the bigger picture. You're missing diet and exercise and gut health Being active, sleep, balancing your hormones, like all of those things. And this is actually, my mom had a lot going on today, but I was going to have her, this is her passion, is this protocol that they talked about at convention, that anybody who's dealing with like their mood feeling low, that is maybe feeling depressed, the number one thing is, I think this is a super simple protocol, and I think it's super affordable when you look at what you could be doing. You do the Lifelong Vitality with Terrazyme. You diffuse wild orange, like use wild orange like crazy. And then my digestin is rolling in my backpack somewhere. You put that on your stomach morning and night. Okay, so that's like literally it. And that is like, has been groundbreaking, earth shattering for people who are trying to support, especially their emotional health. Okay, I'm done now. I'm going to hand it over to Wendy, and she's going to talk a little bit about things that are great for calming and de-stressing. I'm never stressed, and I'm always very calm. So Wendy, take it away.
Me neither. Whoever has time for stress? Everybody's always calm. So what I'm going to do tonight is I'm just going to share with you a couple different ways that we can de-stress. But before I get to that, I'm going to share with you a few different oils specifically to use for calming. So obviously the first one that we all know really well is lavender. So we know it's got a light floral scent. It's really good to ease tension, promote positive feelings, and just help with overall calm anxiety, that kind of calming. You can put a drop in your bath, or you can diffuse it at bed. I actually like to put a drop of it right on my pillow, and then I can smell it all night long. So lavender is pretty much the number one that everybody goes to for calming. But did you know that there are actually a number of other ones that are just as good for calming, that have calming properties? So if any of you know me well, my oily name in the oily world is the Bergamot Mama. So if you have not used bergamot for calming, you are missing out. So bergamot is a light citrus oil. It's very light citrusy scent. Its unique properties calm and uplift at the same time. So it helps release your stress. So this would be the oil to diffuse at work. Another way to use it is to apply it to your feet at bedtime. And it's got an overall just really light, beautiful stress-free smell is what I like to think. This is one that I use in the classroom all the time, and it keeps my students calm. So bergamot. Another one is Roman chamomile. I'm not sure if you can see that. Roman chamomile comes in a little 5 ml bottle. It has a sweet floral scent and can be used to promote feelings of calm courage. So they actually used to use Roman chamomile back in the times of all sorts of wars, because it would calm the men and give them courage before going to war. So high anxiety, high stress, grab your Roman chamomile. And you can also put this on the back of your neck or any pulse points. The best way to use it. You can also, most commonly known in chamomile tea, so you can put 1 to 2 drops in tea as well. And then the last one I want to talk about, even though there are lots and lots of them, the last one I want to talk about is ylang ylang. So this one is a sweet, kind of spicy floral scent, but it's also really good for promoting an overall positive outlook. Also good for relieving stress and tension. So using a little bit of this, also back of the neck, pulse point, using ylang ylang as a, like using it for a perfume actually is good in lots of different ways, but really good to relieve stress. So those are 4 calming oils: lavender, bergamot, Roman chamomile, and ylang ylang. I want to tell you real quick about 3 really great ways to help de-stress. One that I saw on the doTERRA website was a little breathing mechanism that they used where you breathe for 4 seconds in through the nose, hold it for 7 seconds, and out for 3 seconds. Okay, so you can do this or not, but I encourage all of you to do this with me for a second. Okay, give it a try. So we're going to breathe in through your nose for 4 seconds. Hold it for 7. And out slowly for 8. So doing this, just breathing 3 times will really bring your stress level down. And if you want to take it a step further, when you're breathing in for your 4 seconds through your nose, pull out your lavender, pull out balance, pull out peace, any of those. And that's what you should be smelling in when you bring it in. Okay, second is to drink herbal tea. Very good. Chamomile tea, you can buy at any grocery store. Add 1 drop of lavender. You can do another cup with using a drop of Melissa or using a drop or 2 of Roman chamomile. The third one, also pretty easy, is exercising for 30 minutes. It increases your endorphins, improves your mood, and helps you let go of irritations. So how do we add oils into that? Pretty easy. Put some breathe on your chest before you exercise, help open up your airways. Put some deep blue on your leg muscles or arm muscles if you're working those out. But exercise is always really good for de-stress. So a couple other ways that are really popular, most people know. Restful sleep, using Serenity before about 30 minutes in your diffuser before you go to bed. Doing a hand massage on your own hands. You don't have to always do it for someone else. You can do it on your own hands using Aroma Touch and a little bit of fractionated coconut oil. And then last but certainly not least is having a really good support system. That is the best way to really boost your emotions, to help you stress less, to calm down, is just to talk to someone else, someone that you love, and also hugs, always hugs. That always helps someone. So there you go, couple of oils, couple of ways to de-stress. I hope you learned something new.
I think Lindsay's coming. She was typing maybe. Here she is.
Hi, everyone. So I am actually going to show you, if you haven't seen it before, the Essential Emotions Reference app. I'm going to see if this shows up on my phone. It's this little green, there we go. The little green square with the yellow drop and the heart. And I love using this. I believe it's like $6.99. I'm not sure. Amy's shaking yes. Okay, so, but it works in a couple different ways. I really like using it because it addresses emotional health and wellness with conjunction of the oils. So I can base it on 3 different types. I can do it with an emotion, if I'm aware of what emotion I'm feeling or what I need to feel. I can address it by saying I'm really drawn to an oil, not sure why. There must be emotional wellness there. Or I could say there's a part of my body. Like they say that all physical ailments have an emotional root, and I truly believe that. So I know on firsthand, I was actually drawn to the smell of coriander, but I couldn't figure out why. And when I looked it up in this app, so I would go to the oil tab, type in coriander, and it turns out that coriander is being true to yourself. So I looked it up in this book to get a little bit more information, which we'll talk about later. But it turns out that it helps you speak your truth. And I noticed that I tended to say yes when I knew in my heart I should say no. And so coriander was one that I started adding to my diffuser jewelry so that I could stay true to myself and be 100% there for the things that I needed to be there for, and let go of the things that maybe were taking up some time. So that was an interesting one. Serenity, I've always loved the smell. And it says that, let's see, if I look under oils, and I looked up the Restful Blend, because of course it's by the generic name. So if I looked up the Restful Blend, it will promote emotional catharsis. I thought that was amazing. The other one I wanted to mention with today's BOGOs was specifically looking up Motivate, which is the inspiring blend. I just liked the wording that it said, but to encourage higher thinking. So I thought, this might be a good one for a test. So if you ever have like maybe a pain in your foot or pain in your elbow, look up and see what kind of oil they're directing you to, and you might be surprised. What I usually do is if it directs me to an oil or a couple oils, I tend to look those individual oils up and say, which one speaks the most to me and my situation. If you were my husband, you would just put all those oils on, and I guess you couldn't go wrong either way, just different ways of operating. But hopefully you guys find a new way and a new tool to use your oils emotionally. And I love that I have this, and I can't tell you how many times someone I've sat down next to has needed an emotional support, and I can just have it right at my fingertips, and I didn't have to have a book with me. So I thought that was pretty cool. And I'm going to pass your emotional learning on to Laura Whipperman.
Thanks, Lindsay. That was great. And you totally segued to me on that. So Lindsay told you about the app, and we have high-tech people and we have low-tech people. And so I'm going to speak to some low-tech people tonight who might prefer a book or a wheel to the app. And so Lindsay referred to the book, Emotions and Essential Oils. And what I'm holding in my hand is the 5th edition, but there's actually 2 more editions after that. So after our call tonight, I will put a link for everyone in Fierce Oilers, and you'll see how you can get the book and the wheel, or just the wheel. And you can get the 7th edition, which is the latest edition. It has actually more oils that have been released since 2016 from my 5th edition book. So here is the wheel, and it is the most amazing thing. So you can see it here, and this is the positive emotions side. And then there's also a side for negative emotions. And a great way to start to use the wheel is to recognize that every single oil has both a list of physical properties and benefits, but they all have emotional properties and benefits as well. So what I ask people to do when we're using the wheel is I have them think about emotions that they would like to experience. So if you look here on the inner part of the wheel, there's a circle of words, and that helps people get started with articulating emotions that they would really like to draw to themselves and be able to experience. So some of those positive emotions categories that we could start with are comfort, joy, safety, peace, trust, clarity. I just feel better even just saying those words out loud. But those categories will lead you to more specific terminology or adjectives. So for example, if you say, I just want to feel the love, okay? So I'm going to find love on the wheel, and then there's more specific words that go with it, like gentle, tolerant, compassionate, forgiving, and just plain old love, okay? So ask people to articulate, or you articulate, which word in that category of love do you most resonate with? And then you would add that oil, and for, let's say, I just want to feel loved. Not feeling the love tonight. I want to feel loved. So that oil is written next to the word, and the oil is rose. And so I would get out a couple drops of my precious rose, and I would add them to a roller bottle. And a lot of times what I do is I come up with 3 feelings that I want to experience, 3 emotions that I feel like I would want to receive. And I look them all up, and I put those 3 oils, a few drops of each, in a roller bottle, add fractionated coconut oil, and then you could roll it on a pulse point. So over your heart or your wrist or even the back of your neck would work. All right. And then we have to do the other end of the gamut. So we have to look at those negative oils, or those negative emotions, I'm sorry. And again, we would start with the categories because it helps people articulate in general which emotions they would want to release and get rid of. And so there's things called, there's sadness on the wheel, anger, fear, control, insecurity, and so on. And I'm going to just use control because I am a control freak. And I know I need to release that. I need to let go of control and realize that I am not in charge of everything, and I don't have to be. So some of the words that go along with control in this category are, am I prideful? Am I controlling? Am I perfectionistic? Maybe I'm jealous. Jealousy is one of them. Overexertion and self-reliance. I rely too much on myself. Which one resonates with me the most? I'm controlling. Okay, and the oil that goes with that is cilantro. So I would put a few drops of cilantro in a different roller bottle, and I would come up with another 1 or 2 emotions that I want to release, and I would add those oils to the roller bottle. And now I can roll on the emotions that I want to release. And over the top of that, I can roll on the emotions that I want to receive. And so out with the bad and in with the good. And if you're experiencing a negative emotion and you want to release it, or if you want to receive more of a positive emotion, I would challenge you to look up those emotions either on the app or in the book. And you'll be amazed, like Lindsay said, how those oils, you know, the description of the emotional component of those oils will really speak to you. And I'll just give a quick little story before I turn it over. Like Lindsay, I was really drawn to grapefruit. And I knew I liked grapefruit, but I really wasn't sure like why I wanted to have the grapefruit so much in my water or just to smell. And it turns out that grapefruit is the oil of a body acceptance. And that has been me my whole life. I've always had trouble with that. And so it just really resonated reading those couple of paragraphs that you get in the book about each of the oils. You will find that they really resonate with you. And so I hope you have great fun experimenting with the emotions components of the oils, and that you can order the book and the wheel for yourself and for your friends. And who am I turning it over to tonight?
Laura Hedemine is next.
Laura J. Okay.
Okay. So as I'm sitting here looking over what I'm going to share, my topic is to pamper yourself. And I'm going to cry probably. SB sent me a text that really moved me to share with you guys why pampering yourself for myself has been so important. Pampering myself over the past like 8-9 months with my oils has gotten me through my divorce. And along with all the people on this call and many other people, and I just am overwhelmed with love from these oils and what it does as a community and how we like support each other through these oils. So I'm gonna do my best to get through this. Thanks a lot, SB. So creating a ritual or a routine for yourself with your oils, I think is something that is all about pampering yourself and taking care of yourself. And that routine can change, it can fluctuate, but even if it's 2 oils, you know, like 1 in the morning that you know you're gonna use and 1 at night, it's treating yourself to know, like, I look forward to that oil at the end of the day and this is how I'm gonna use it. So as soon as I walk into my house or as soon as I walk into my office at work, literally one of the like first 3 things I do is turn on my diffuser. And it's an oil that either calls to me that day, or it's the oil that's sitting out on my desk. But that's really important to me. Like, as I'm setting up my space, as I'm grounding, like having my diffuser going is really going to help. Then I thought about like bath time or shower time. I generally will have I have oils in my shower, but depending on how I'm feeling emotionally and where I'm at, I'll grab an oil and I'll put a couple drops in my shower as it's like warming up, and as I get in, like that aroma is already there to help me relax or uplift me. And you can do the same thing with the tub. And I think I just had this conversation, like 8 to 10 drops in your tub is what I would like, and I that some other people like, but it's really up to you where you're at with that. And it depends if it's you or your kiddos. But also consider trying the body wash that doTERRA has, or the Serenity Bath Bar. If you really like a bar of soap, or if that's something you like to travel with, the Serenity Bath Bar is really nice. And then also carrying your spa or your little routine kit with you. So there's unscented, like I have my Passion lotion, but there's an unscented lotion that doTERRA has, or there's a Citrus Bliss hand lotion that you can keep with you in your purse or in your diaper bag or wherever you want to keep lotion. But have that lotion, and then you can put a drop of the oil that you want to use. And again, just give yourself a little hand massage for a minute and do some of that deep breathing while you're giving that yourself a hand massage. And then the other thing I like to do, I don't do it weekly, but it's something you could do weekly, is give yourself a mud mask. The doTERRA mud mask is amazing. Amy's ranting around. But try the mud mask if you haven't tried it. And then give yourself, like, again, like creating a routine or a ritual of self-care to really like love on yourself and creating like that self-love. I'm all about loving yourself first and taking care of you. That's going to help your emotional well-being as well. So thank you for letting me be vulnerable and share a little bit. Truly, these oils have been on my journey and will continue to be on my journey, and I love that you guys are on this journey with me and with yourselves with your oils. So I'm going to pass it on to, I should know,
Emily. You're good. Thank you, Laura.
Awesome. Thanks, Laura. Okay, so I'm going to talk about mood boosting. But before I do that, I would love if everybody would go and get their peppermint oil and their wild orange oil. So I'll give you a minute to do that. But I want to kind of go through this trick that I learned. If you already know this trick, bear with me, but I thought it was really helpful in just helping me remember to use these throughout the day. So, peppermint trick. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a drop of peppermint in our hand, but the key with peppermint is to avoid putting it on your pointer finger. So if you touch your eyes later, you're not mad at me. So what you can do is make an L with your hand, and then you're going to just use these 3 fingers. So you're going to avoid using your pointer fingers. Okay. So we're going to put a drop in the middle of your palm of the peppermint, and then use those 3 fingers and kind of you do it like a paintbrush on your palm. So kind of brush with those 3 fingers, avoiding your pointer like a paintbrush, and then rub your 6 fingers together. Again, you're still avoiding your pointers. Rub those together, and then rub on the back of your neck and breathe it in, and like up into your scalp and kind of massage it. Take a minute, breathe it in. I like the 7-second holding my breath thing. I'm like, I will die. I cannot hold my breath for that long. So take a breath, but it doesn't have to be 7 seconds. Then take your wild orange. This one obviously is not as important. If it gets on your pointer fingers, it's fine. So we're just going to take your wild orange, put a drop in your hand, and then rub your hands together. So this one you can rub together just like this. And this is a reminder that citrus oils are antibacterial. So rub them like this, just like you're washing your hands, and you're going to do the same thing. Back of your neck, up your scalp. And then breathe, take a second and breathe it in. So this is like the easiest thing that you can do. And it was like so funny because peppermint wild orange is like a staple for a lot of people. And I think it's just, we can get into a rut of like using the same oils. So keep these around, take a minute, let it like feel on the back of your neck. You can always dilute with a little coconut oil if you have more sensitive skin. But I just think it's like the best pick-me-up. So bottom line, the best pick-me-up you can do for mood boosting, peppermint and wild orange. So keep that in mind, and then you won't put your fingers in your eyes later and be mad. Okay, so in terms of mood boosting, so any citrus oil. So I had us do wild orange, but wild orange, tangerine, bergamot, citrus bliss, green mandarin, grapefruit, lemon. There's a million citrus oils. Multiple studies show how citrus oils can be used to relieve depression symptoms. So a few ways to do this. Actually, they found the number one way to do it is, or like the most effective way that it was relieving those symptoms is topically. So using the oils topically like we just did. So massage them into your skin. A note about this, citrus oils are photosensitive, except for green mandarin. I think that's the only one that's not photosensitive. So don't put them on your neck and then go out into the sun. If you live in the frozen tundra of Wisconsin, you need to worry about that for like 20 minutes a year. So you're fine. Don't worry about it. But just keep that in mind. If you're going to go out in the sun, don't put it somewhere that's easily exposed to the sun, right before you go out there. So using the unscented lotion from doTERRA that Laura mentioned is a great way to use these oils. So just keep the lotion by your sink with some citrus oils, some peppermint, put a drop in your hand after you wash your hands, take a second, breathe it in, just like think about the beautiful things in your life. So kind of take a minute to do that. But diffusing the oils is also another really effective way to help boost your mood. So a note about diffusing citrus oils, they aren't as strong in the diffuser. So if you normally would diffuse, 1 or 2 drops of an oil, you might want to do 3 or 4 with a citrus oil, just because you won't smell it as much. So don't fear if you can't smell it. Just put a little more citrus oil in there too. So any of the citrus oils. So the, Elevation is another really great mood booster. That's their joyful blend. So I feel like Elevation isn't talked about a ton, but it is my favorite single oil smell of any of the oils. It was my favorite from the beginning, and it's still my favorite. So it has a lot of citrus oils in it, but it also has lavender, clary sage, sandalwood, melissa. It gives it a really unique scent, and this is a really nice one to diffuse. Motivate is another great one. So we kind of talked about that one. Obviously, today's BOGO, you can get it for free. So if you don't have this one, I highly recommend it. So this helps you get the things done that you need to do. It boosts your mood, and it's also great for focus, mental clarity, as is peppermint. So all these things that are just going to help you like boost your mood and get done the things that you need to get done during the day. Another great one for focus is Intune. So if you don't have this one, it comes in a roller, but it is not diluted. So a little bit of Intune goes a long way. Don't like back and forth roll it all over yourself. It will be very strong. So put a little bit on the back of your neck in the morning, or before you need to focus on something, before your kids need to focus on something, a project, homework, anyone in the family who's easily distractible. Intune is really great. Amy talks about how she can tell if Gary hasn't put it on. She'll be like, I can't talk to you until you go put your Intune on. Like, pull yourself together. Did you want to dispute that? Okay, it's true. So yeah, great for like mood boosting, focus, all that good things. And then I would recommend getting some kind of diffuser blend book. So I have this book called Aroma. I got it from convention, and I don't think it's still for sale on the website, but they put out books like that, and you can get books like this at other places, and it is awesome. It is awesome. It was the best $12 I ever spent. So it's divided into like different rooms, different months, different events, different feelings, like all these different diffuser ideas. So I kind of mentioned before, we can sort of get stuck in a rut and be like, oh, well, it's nighttime, I diffuse lavender. Like, oh, well, to boost my mood, I'll diffuse wild orange. There are so many options, and I feel like having a diffuser blend book is a great way to like get some new fresh ideas. Like, oh, I would have never thought to combine those. So I have a picture that I will post on once this goes in on the Facebook page, and I'll post a picture there under the sad page. There's a lot of different ideas there. And so I'll post that so you guys have some different ideas, but mix it up with your oils until you find something that you really like. So that's my mood boosting discussion. I'm going to pass it off to Miranda.
Thanks, Em. So just kind of going over a little bit over what everyone has said tonight, I want to backtrack and just mention a little bit about emotional literacy and figuring out what we're even feeling to begin with. So for me, I oftentimes don't even know what I'm feeling, so I don't even know what oil to reach for. And so that's been a big thing for me to focus on with the oils, has been, okay, I'm feeling something. I want to use an oil to help with that. I don't know what to do. So like Laura and Lindsay mentioned, you can get the book. This is the new 7th version. It's pretty green and floral. So this is a great place to start if you want. It's got a lot of options. And what's really cool in the back in the appendices is there is a decoding emotions part. And so it gives you basically like associated emotions to physical indicators. So my heart is pounding. What does that mean? Could be that I'm nervous. It could be, you know, all these different things. And it gives you the different keywords that you can look at then in the book for the oils, or you can go to your wheel, which is green and gray in the new version. And you can find those emotions there and figure out what oil would be good to use for. But there's a lot on here. There's a lot of emotions and a lot of specific situations. And sometimes I can't carry all this with me at all times, even with the app like Lindsay mentioned. And so going along with what the BOGO is today, I think Amy planned this on purpose. The touch emotional rollers have been super helpful for me. You get 6 rollers: motivate, cheer, passion, forgive, console, and peace. And you can get your motivate and cheer today in the BOGO. But having these on hand and reaching for these, it narrows it down to the main emotional groups that there are anyways. Think about the movie Inside Out. There are 5 characters and the colors almost exactly match up to what these are. So think about that. You know, anger can, you know, an extreme form of anger can come from passion. And so you might want to apply passion. Cheer is yellow, so think of joy. All that. So this has just been a very easy way for me to stop, breathe, maybe do Wendy's breathing exercise, identify where I'm feeling my emotions and what that could be, and then apply an oil. And I think something that's really fantastic is if you use these oils regularly and regularly apply them, you start to focus on what's causing those emotions. And that's a huge part of emotional literacy too. It's not just knowing your feelings, it's knowing what other people are feeling and learning how to manage our emotions as well. So the oils aren't going to fix your emotions for you, but they help foster an environment where you can address them. And I think that's super important to remember. So grab your touch rollers, because I love applying it right over my heart, but the wrists and the back of the neck are super great too. But oftentimes I'm feeling it in the center of my body. And so putting it right over my heart is super helpful. So just being purposeful about applying the oils and focusing on what's causing it. We've done the Forgive Challenge here in Fierce Oilers. And I think just that 30 days of really focusing on applying that oil once a day, twice a day, more, however much you want to do it, just gets you in the practice of like focusing and identifying why I'm feeling this. Why do I need to forgive this person? Or what am I experiencing that really works with this oil? And that helps us to be more emotionally literate, which our society isn't always. So I highly encourage you to look more into this and to, just take that second every day to pick one oil to apply to address one thing that you're feeling. That's all I've got.
That was perfect. That was like absolute perfect way to end it. Miranda's so right. Like oils don't do the work for you. Like they create the space for you to do it and for you to like go to the hard places, but they're not going to do the work for you. So, but so many great tips and nuggets. Am I right? I saw people writing feverishly. The chat is full of great things. Links will go up. So, well, I'm going to do raffles here really quick. I'm going to go right through them. I was able to do random name picker. Well, I'm so efficient. Not really. Did I motivate on? Perhaps, but back of my neck is feeling fabulous from those oils. Okay, so we're going to start with the Peace. So 5 ml of Peace, one of my absolute favorites. That goes to Abby Albers. I see her on here. So Abby, this is for you. Passion Touch, another favorite of mine. This one is going to go to Lindsay Moore. Are you still on here? Can somebody nod my head if she is? I don't know. This is where I'm sorry. It takes me a minute to find people. I'm not sure she's still on here. Yes, I see head nodding. She's on. I'm getting a yes. Okay, good. Thank you, guys. Fresh. This is one of my favorite blends. It's called the Energizing Blend, Fresh. And this is going to Mary L. Because I'll say and is she still on? Yes. Okay, thanks, Laura. Okay, perfect. And then Hot Mess. Okay, we've got our Hot Mess blend. This is my favorite. This is going, Mandy, you got picked for this. Mandy Bonack. And Pep. This is one that is super fun. It's another energy blend. Pep, right? You need a little pep in your step. This is going to Katie Daly. Who is on? Yeah, you're there. Thank you. And then the last one, this one I think is so fun. This is a new perfume that I found. It's called Glorious Perfume. And Andrea, are you still on here? Andrea Ramirez? Yep, I see her. Okay, so this one is yours. So if you won, I like hate to be cruel, but you won't get your prize until you send me your address. So I'm kidding, but seriously, send me your address, please. Message it to me. I would be so grateful. Our next Fierce Oiler call is March 18th, and it's going to be about like digestive health, gut health, because guys, it's like the beginning of all of these conversations. So it's going to be way more fun than it sounds, I promise. That is the 18th. And I just, again, want to thank you guys for being on. Enjoy your BOGO week. Use your oils. And I can't wait to see what tomorrow's deal is. Today was perfect. Make sure you order that tonight before you go to bed. Order it, okay? All right, have a good night, everybody.